Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And with OpTic's surprise defeat this weekend to Los Angeles, Thieves, FormaL has his say on the matter, exactly where OpTic fell short, what they need to do next time, and why it doesn't really matter this tournament at the end of the day. But very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting a like button is the best thing you can do. Tell the channel reach new people, and please do subscribe as well, if you have not yet already. Firstly, thought this was kind of funny really from Clayster, Crimsix, just having a good time generally. The vibes on this team seem pretty immaculate at times. And yeah, the content that comes up behind the scenes between like, yeah, Paco, that being Hydra, and Crimsix and the rest of the guys especially, well, has been very entertaining so far. Shout out Subliners doing a good job generally with their social so far. This is also from Gunless, right? Because a big topic really has been this past weekend. What's going on with these streaks? Why why does the glide bomb not kill someone in one shot if they're flak jacket on? It is kind of ridiculous, that's the thing. I don't know how they even thought this was possible. I imagine a lot of people tuning in this weekend were like, okay, like, how's the glide bomb not kill the guy? Like, did he get around the corner or something? But I really have no idea how they let this go through. And that's the thing, you get a 7-kill streak, you call one in, and if anything, it's actually a mistake to do that. Like, in certain situations, if someone's already weak, yes, it can kill them, but still, like, if anything, it's actually a negative, because you can be more impactful yourself, just like kind of running into the hard point, than you can be calling down the glide bomb from above. So, kind of ridiculous. And well, as Octane says, can my 7-kill streak one-shot someone, please? So this was kind of what Gunless, I guess, was talking about when we looked at it yesterday, that, okay, yeah, this event, we're looking for find bugs, this type of issues, but still, play what's in front of you, I suppose, as it will Slasher may well say. This also from Clayster, got outslayed by 22 kills on a barrage yesterday and won, yet people are obsessed over KD. Thought this was quite spicy really what he had to say here. Not sure he was deliberately calling out MajorManiak, but it was kind of uncanny the similarities between Clay's next tweet and the actual stat line that MajorManiak was putting up. So of course Clayster and the Subliners guys played up against Minnesota Rokkr in their round 2 match. Subliners won 3-0, and well, game 1 it was ridiculous. They lost by 22 kills in the slaying, but actually won the map, which of course is what is important at the end of the day. As he says, people still obsessed over KD. Of course, KD does matter to some degree. This was the map though in question, where MajorManiak goes 41 in 26, so plus 15. The rest of the guys in general also positive, plus 22. Everyone negative on New York. They win at 252-42. So kind of incredible. Of course, yes, Rokkr, maybe they weren't playing the hard point as much as they should have been, and all those type of questions. And this is what Clayster has to say. Now, I don't know if he knew 100% what stat line MajorManiak had, because of course, well, MajorManiak was like 41 in 26, right? Now, I mean, Clayster says if you go 40 and 25, rather similar, while getting useless kills, I'd consider that less impactful than going 25 and 40, but 15 of those 25 were rotational, scrap, crucial kills that actually impacted the game in a significant manner. So me is kind of saying that, you know, MajorManiak and the other guys on the Rokkr team, like at the end of the day, we got outslayed by 22 kills, you were getting useless kills, which I guess is true. Like, it's just a statement of fact that those kills were useless if you're going to outslay by 22 and still lose the map. So, you know, kind of spicy really, I thought here from Clayster, and definitely some thoughts exactly on why that was the case. Is it just Bacage, right, that allows that to happen? Because, well, as Simp says, you know, you shouldn't lose any map you outslay by plus 22, but some people are saying, yes, look, maybe it's just Bacage that allows this to be the case. You can outslay massively. It is kind of a thing that even if you get loads of people dead, they'll still spawn pretty close to the hardpoint, so you can get like 4 dead, and you might only get like 5-6 seconds of hardpoint time as a result of that, right, by the time they spawn back in and start challenging the hardpoint again. So, you know, it's obviously not ideal. Maybe that does open the door, right, to some teams getting outslayed massively, but look, at the end of the day, it does happen quite often every year where teams get outslayed massively and still win based on rotations and that type of stuff. New York and, well, Dallas Empire last year with Crimsix, where definitely the repeat offenders on that front. So Crimsix just seems to do something to his team where that happens. But obviously stats do matter to some degree, because well, as we saw here when they eventually lost it in this tournament to Seattle Surge, and I mean, yeah, the stat lines were not pretty on the Subliner side by any means, and actually it was the team at the top that won this series, which wouldn't surprise you, of course, looking at the stats, but yeah, they obviously do carry some relevance here in Call of Duty, as of course we very well do understand. This also then from FormaL I thought was pretty funny, because well, when Slasher first came on the stage at the start of this weekend, I see Slasher says Chino and think, you know, he's lucky I'm not up there, and FormaL thinks that as well. Definitely these guys had some good battles over the years. Generally FormaL got the better of Slasher. Like well, they usually had a good time when they played up against each other, but FormaL went back to actually watch the series that they lost to Los Angeles Thieves, the OpTic guys, on stream, and gave his thoughts on the matter, especially this map 4 we'll have a look at right here. Like definitely some interesting comments really about the fact that yes, OpTic started too slow, not something they can afford to do. The fact that there were a lot of team kills going on as well was pretty frustrating for him. The lack of rotations he saw to one of the final hard points, but also the fact that at the end of the day doesn't really mean all that much.
Kills, it all comes down to Octane on the defense.
He's looking for another one as well. He's got 2 players, by the way, already pushed up through vines.
I'm so mad for them that they lost, man. I know they're probably so pissed off right now.
Are there. Scump to drop him. The nades though for the response. It is
Octane, 20 and 10 for him. The pressure now from OpTic coming out of church side. Kenny's about to hit the flank. This could be
Another
devastating.
team kill.
Kenny finds one. Scumpy versus Drazah being pulled out. Octane.
Like, look at this is how bad squad spawns are, dude. Like, a bunch of kills go down, right? Okay, OpTic spawning here. You just spawning here.
For a brief few moments, but Drazah,
Kills this guy. But they're already spawning here, so like these guys are gonna spawn him here anyway. So like instead of spawning out like over here, and like having the kills matter, it's like you just spawn right here anyways. Oh, he spawned like right here.
The streaks now being pulled
Spawned on top of him.
It's a moment of mild desperation.
And so does this guy. Just that number 5 probably spawns here too.
Still though,
It's just like constant. It's like zombies. Like hordes of zombies. Now they spawn out here finally because this guy's pushed up here. I don't know why they don't spawn with him here. I don't understand, but bro, if OpTic was warmed up more earlier this whole series, would have went differently. I mean, yeah, in hindsight, it's easy to say that. I'd like to think that. It did seem like they heated up like towards the end of the series, or like starting from like game 3, they started heating up. But like, that's part of it though. You gotta come out hot. You can't come out flat. Before you know it, like you're just down 0-2. And the series is like infinitely harder.
Maybe one more push, but these final 10 seconds, Thieves are going to collect it. They'll have a slight advantage.
Damn.
As we reset the hills, we go back to first.
No one rotated. It looked
This
like
has to be the final hard point of the map, and maybe this.
bad start for the season for the boys, I guess. But that who cares? It's just like the kickoff, right?
So I think FormaL kind of nailed on to some of the key issues that OpTic had in that series. We looked at what Rambo and Shotzi had to say in yesterday's video, right, where they effectively said, yes, like we played a bit too frantic, running at things too much, gave away too many lives too easily, and yeah, need to know what needs to be worked on or back to the lab, because that's the thing. Sometimes things work out differently online than they do on LAN. Like maybe online you can get away with rushing something, challenging a gunfight, but on LAN things maybe slow down to some degree, even though, well, certainly some of the maps didn't really seem to slow down this past weekend, but things generally are slightly different on LAN, and it may well have been an advantage for some of those teams coming from the first round. They got the chance to play on LAN in their first round matchup, then in the second one as well. As we said yesterday, only one team out of the 4 that got the bye, right, from their champs placing actually made it through to the semi-finals, and that was Toronto that went on to win the entire thing. All the other guys, Minnesota, FaZe and OpTic, both well, bowed outright at that very first hurdle, and maybe some of that was the momentum coming in from the team that had already won a series on LAN, which definitely makes some impact this early on in the year. But of course there were other things as well. The slow start definitely wasn't ideal. As FormaL says, yeah, he likes to think if they didn't start slow, things might have been different. But look, at the end of the day, it's part of the series. If you get off to a slow start, that is how it is. And to be fair, I'm pretty sure they won the first hardpoint rotation on the very first map on Cavatu. Then things started to fall apart for them. Of course, the search and destroy was pretty tragic, going down 4-0. No real way back from there, even though they gave it a good go. Even down 5-1 at a time. But yeah, maybe that's something they need to work on going forwards. Whatever that means, whether it's like a mindset switch or whatever, that well, might take these OpTic guys to the next level. And yeah, definitely some talk about the spawns as well and the frustrations around that, because as Simp says here in Control, definitely on Gavatu Control, it's not ideal. Control needs some different spawns or maps. The spawn trapping is unreal right now on either side, right? You can get spawn trapped if you're on, well, if you're on offense, right, you can get spawn trapped in your base. Even the offensive team can spawn trap the defense in their base as well, which is certainly something that can happen if you get pushed up in the appropriate spots. We also saw FormaL talking about the horde of zombies, right? They come out on that particular hardpoint on Tuscan, where they're just flooding through the back again and again and again, and it makes for kind of crazy viewing, really. But it does mean a lot of gunfights. It does mean it is somewhat predictable, right? You know they're going to spawn there. The spawns might not really make sense in a Call of Duty context when they should be spawning out, but at the very least it is rather predictable. But yes, at the end of the day, it was a kickoff event. Doesn't really mean all that much, but it would have been nice to win, right? It's a great confidence booster for the Toronto guys. They come in here and win this, and frankly, despite this not meaning as much as a major will, I think a lot of people are considering this a real tournament. At the end of the day, these like 8-team online majors were considered championships back in Modern Warfare, right? Like, I mean, Florida had like 3 championship victories that year, technically, at least based on what people consider, because they won like 3 of these online 8-team bracket tournaments, which it was impressive, no doubt, but still, if you're counting that, you absolutely have to 100% count a tournament like this, where all 12 teams are there in attendance in a LAN environment. And when FaZe kind of opened the door for a team to make the run, like, it would have been good to at least to see like how OpTic faced against Toronto, right, given that Toronto were looking particularly good. But yes, OpTic, of course, fell short at the first hurdle, but I suppose the perfect time to lose news really. FaZe also lost at last year's Kickoff Classic. Look what they did for the rest of the season. Maybe something similar going to happen once again. This also from the flank, right? Because I didn't really look at the YouTube chat all that much in yesterday's stream, but I know that, you know, on the first day, people were talking at Maven and Merc obviously a lot. A lot of those were getting deleted by the moderators. You can kind of understand it, right? It gets kind of tedious. But still, then the people were basically just taking the mick, right, by putting message deleted themselves in the chats because they were basically just getting rid of everything. And yeah, what are the mods going to do about it? Seems like they decided to get rid of this as well. Like, I guess this is the actual message deleted when it goes in italics here. So yeah, don't really know what the mods are playing at. Always a good time that the CDL community gets the mods in the chat. And at the end of the day, the COD community simply does not ever lose. And just to finish out the video with this from R11Stats, I thought was pretty beautiful. First bloods on Desert Siege in the kill event so far. This I think is going into the Sunday. Not really sure we saw a Desert Siege search on the Sunday. Maybe we saw one. But anyway, this is what was going on. Thought this was kind of interesting just to see how this tends to go. And well, see how the snipers were used. You can see in general, like, well, given the fact the snipers are pretty dominant on this map, you would think most of the first bloods were not with the sniper in hand. Like, obviously you had a lot going on right here, like a few. The kill location of where the player who fired the bullets is the kind of small end of it, and then the death is over here. So you can kind of see where these shots happen to go. And I mean, you can see generally MP40s in and around this middle building. They're getting a lot of opening engagements in the SMG and the green, and then the auto is kind of on this side of the map. So really cool to see how the meta is shaping up early on, where yes, snipers are kind of used over this bomb site. Mostly they're used over here, and they can find some first bloods. This I'm pretty sure was the Octane one, right, where he picked that guy coming right out of the sky. And I mean, yeah, MP40s used around here, but doesn't really sell the story. There's you know, snipers are way too overpowered. If when compared to the Automaton and the MP40, they actually got less first bloods, I'm pretty sure, than either of those weapons. But very much intrigued to your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button, tell us the YouTube gods this is a good video. I just like you should see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you as always, take care, and I will see you next time.